The next item is item number 19 and item number 20. Item 19 is an application for a certificate of appropriateness in the Borough of Manhattan, docket number 15-4492, block 1385, lot 57, 20 East 71st Street in the Upper East Side Historic District, a neo-Italian Renaissance style residence designed by CPH Gilbert and built in 1922 to 23. This is an application to install a guardrail at the rear facade. And item number 20 is an application for a modification of use in bulk, Borough of Manhattan, docket number 15-4491. And this is an application to request that the Landmarks Preservation Commission issue a report to the City Planning Commission relating to an application for a special permit pursuant to section 74-711 of the zoning resolution for a modification of use.
Commissioners, good afternoon. Jared Nelson, Preservation Staff. So this is 20 East 71st Street, located in the Upper East Side Historic District. There's two applications here. One is for a modification of use to go from commercial back to residential. Historically, it was a residential building. And all of the restorative work the applicants will go through that's entailed in restoring the building. There is one aspect of it at the rear elevation where there is a guardrail to be installed at the roof that would be visible from Madison Avenue. So that's more or less this. The applicants will go through the presentation that you saw here.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Valerie Campbell. I'm with Kramer 11 and we're land use.
Open the hearing, please. Thank you.
So moved. All right. Valerie Campbell from Kramer 11. We're land use counsel to the owner. This building was built in 1923 for Julius Forsman, who was a wool manufacturer. In 1942, it was sold to the Archdiocese of New York, who used it as a residence and a community facility. It was the Catholic Center for the Blind. In 1979, it was sold to a real estate investment company and converted to office use, and more recently was an art gallery. It's been vacant for a few years and was purchased in 1912 by the current owner, who wanted to use it for a single-family residence. Yes, not 1912. That would not work. Do we have this section here? The commercial use was as of right, residential use is as of right, but because the building was converted to office use, converting it back to residential use creates a non-compliance in the rear, because as it was originally built, there was only 11 feet, 11 inches between the original rear facade of the building and the rear lot line. So the application, that means that none of the windows in the rear of the building could be legally used for residential use. So in order to convert the building back to residential use, we're going to city planning to ask for a 711 permit, which will waive the provisions that require a 30-foot distance between the legal window and the rear lot line, and also we'll sort of legalize this as an inner court, which is also needed in terms of making these legal windows. So we have we will be entering into a restricted declaration for a continuing maintenance plan. We have a full program of restoration work, which we can describe to you. And as I said, there's one item. All of the work should be staff level, except for the rail. And some of the restoration work involves the removal of this 1980s, we think, greenhouse addition that was put on the back. So, Kurt?
So I'll talk a little bit about what physically we'll do with the building. Oh, I'm sorry. Kurt Carlson, Peter Marino.
Yeah, I opened the hearing.
And then.
Or did I open the hearing?
It's open.
Okay, thanks. Go.
Essentially, we're restoring the building. We are going to clean it and replace the windows in kind. They're wood windows. They will be replaced with insulated wood windows. We'll be removing a flagpole. And in the rear of the house, We're gonna, in the window replacement, we'd like to get rid of some of these louvers. And in order to get rid of the louvers, we actually need to put some condensers on the roof hidden on the north end that you can't see from anywhere in the neighborhood. Like she said, we're gonna tear down the solarium and replace it with a rear yard that has some glass pavers in it so that we can use the room below. And yes, we have the rear railing up here at the parapet is more of a safety issue than a decorative issue. We don't want people falling off the roof. So to that end, we are trying to just replace it with the same type of railing that you would find on the balcony below that we're just restoring.
So is that the only thing we're approving is the railing? Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
The only portion of the work that needs a certificate of appropriation.
Really, just the railing.
So not the skylight, not the, you've already approved those.
We've already done that.
Is there testimony? Is there?
This is it. That's it.
So it's pretty straightforward then.
Okay. Okay. All right. Are we through the question? So let me have testimony. Michael Hall from Friends of the Upper East Side. Where is he? Okay.
Good afternoon. Michael Hall, Friends of the Upper East Side. The Preservation Committee at Friends is pleased when a building is returned to its original use, especially when it includes restorative work. As such, we find the proposal to be respectful and that it enhances the historic features of the building. Further, understanding the addition of the guardrail on the rear facade is required for code compliance, the applicant's solution of using existing historic fabric as precedent is appropriate. The Preservation Committee at Friends supports approval of this application.
Okay. Thank you. And excuse me, full board recommends approval of both. I assume there's nothing more to say. Testimony, discussion, Joan.
Sure. First of all, I can support the guardrail. I think that it's minimally visible and it's a necessity. And I also feel that the restorative work that's being done and also the commitment to a cyclical maintenance plan actually is appropriate in order to grant a 74-711 for this project. And I think it's wonderful that it's being restored back the way it is. So I think it's, we're returning it.
Yes. Michael? Okay. Libby?
Yes, I voted yes.
Anyone? Okay. Anyone disagree? The rail is fine. Hearing will be closed. Marjorie, please. We'll do them both consecutively.
Yeah, how much affordable housing is there? Okay, in the matter of a certificate of appropriateness for 20 East 71st Street in the Upper East Side Historic District, the application is to install a guardrail at the rear facade. I recommend approval, finding that the proposed guardrail will match the design details and finish of the existing guardrail at the rear fourth floor roof terrace, that the proposed guardrail will be visible only in context with the rear facade and the rear facades of adjacent buildings and from a considerable distance, and that the proposed guardrail will not detract from the significant architectural features of the building or the Upper East Side Historic District.
All in favor?
And do the second one. In the matter of a report for a modification of use and bulk with respect to 20 East 71st Street in the Upper East Side Historic District, the application is to request that the Landmarks Preservation Commission issue a report to the City Planning Commission relating to an application for special permit pursuant to Section 74-711 of the zoning resolution for a modification of use. I recommend approval, finding that the restorative work to be approved pursuant to LPC 15-4492 will return the building closer to its original appearance, that the restorative work, including cleaning of and repairs to masonry and metalwork and in-kind replacement of windows, will bring the building up to a sound first-class condition, aid in its long-term preservation, and reinforce the architectural and historic character of the building, the streetscape, and the historic district. That the owners of the building have committed themselves to establishing a cyclical maintenance plan, and that a restrictive declaration will be filed against the property, which will bind the applicants and all heirs, successors, and assigns to maintain the continuing maintenance program in perpetuity.
Second, all in favor? Aye, opposed? That's approved as well, so both done. Thank you.